about how oh, my microphone. Oh Lord, that would have been really bad. I would have been so upset. I hope the audio is good and that you guys can hear me. I'll have to wait for someone to come in to tell me. I wish there was an equalizer where you could actually see. Anyways, guys, this is a bad loaf of sourdough. I think it was over fermented. I think I got a little over eager and I put it in a kind of a warm oven. And the dough was really like heavy and stretchy. I knew something was wrong. And so I just baked it. And, you know, I probably can use it for like croutons or breadcrumbs or something like that. But anyway, guys, don't worry about that loaf. Worry about this loaf that we're going to start today. This is my whole wheat starter. Welcome. Good morning. I'm baking sourdough bread. So obviously it's not going to get baked today, but we're going to get the dough into its autolyze phase. So these are my 2 whole wheat starters, and I think I'm actually going to start 2 loaves because I want to make one for my friend, and I usually make one for my son. Just let me know if you guys can hear me because I just plugged my microphone in. If there's anyone in here that could just type an emoji, drop the bread emoji to let me know. And sorry for any mess you see behind me. It's messy in here right now. I've been very busy. So I forgot that I need my phone to look at my recipe. So I've been using Clever Carrot's recipe. What is it? Damn. I wonder if I can leave the live stream and get it started again. Let's see. I guess I should have thought about that for live. I wonder if I'm still live. It looks like I'm still live. Okay, so this recipe calls for 150 grams of starter. I wish one of you could have written it down for me. 150 grams of starter, 250 grams of water, and 25 grams of olive oil. Yeah, that sounds right. Okay, guys, let's get it started. I'm a little haphazard, as you can tell. One of the cool things that baking sourdough has taught me, well, not taught me, I already knew how to do it, but it's gotten me in the habit of baking with a scale, like even when I make muffins or whatever. So we have our bowl, we have our scale, okay? So I'm going to weigh out 150 grams of starter from this starter. I float tested these both this morning. So we're going to put 150 grams of the whole wheat starter in it, and then I'll refeed the starter when we're done with making these loaves. Good morning. Welcome to my live stream. Nice to meet ya. 133. Wow. Okay, so this whole thing was basically 150 grams. So this is a small starter. Okay, so I guess I don't need to make my starters that small. So that's 150 on the money. I just have scrapings, but word on the Grandma Street is that you can actually scrape this and just add equal part flour and equal part water, and it will still be active because that bacteria will actually colonize. So that's enough starter, I'm pretty sure, to get another starter going. Oh, I have another one. I haven't float tested that one. Anyways, we're going to worry about this loaf. So we have 150 grams. Oh no. We have 150 grams of our starter. Now we're going to do 250 grams of filtered water. Has to be filtered. I'm pretty sure the chlorine in municipal water will kill your starter, the fermentation. That's like the whole deal with sourdough, is that it's naturally fermented and it basically ferments the wild yeast in the air. So I think there is yeast in it. At least that's what my boyfriend from the bar told me. He's smart though. Yeah, 24-year-old kid, he knows about sourdough. Gotta get my scale balance. I hope you guys are having a great day. And comment below if you're making sourdough. Do you guys have starters, or is this just like sourdough entertainment for you? Because I definitely consumed my fair share. Oh, come on. I definitely consumed my fair share of sourdough content before I got the show on the road. Oops, I accidentally put 263 of water. 244. 250. Perfect. Okay, so we got the water, and then Clever Carrots recipe. I guess I read on Reddit. There, obviously, I'm in the sourdough sub. They said that Clever Carrots method doesn't always work for them, and then I was like, Clever Carrot, I would never use that method. That sounds stupid. And then I saw the website I was using, and it was Clever Carrot, and I was like, well, I'll be damned. But I didn't have luck with it yesterday. I didn't have luck with it yesterday, and I think that's okay. Where's my olive oil? I just bought the biggest thing of it from Costco. That's avocado oil. Come on. I've been so busy. I really need to organize and clean all this. For real though? I know I have it. Am I gonna have to use avocado oil? I found it. Wow. This is a bad look. Sorry, guys. All right, we got it. Don't worry about any of this. After I do this, I'm gonna clean the house and all that. I just YouTube is my priority. Hello, everybody. Drop a bread emoji if you're here. Okay, so 25 grams of olive oil. So yeah, I had really good luck with the Clever Carrot recipe twice, and then I think yesterday was user error. I tried to warm the oven up a little bit to make it like a 90-degree oven so it could all go faster. But honestly, I think it's better to let something proof overnight than to overproof it in a warm oven. Proofing is when you are the auto-lyse stage, that first hour. So Clever Carrot's recipe, basically the technique was so easy. I accidentally put 29 grams of olive oil. So I'm just gonna take some out. Clever Carrot's method is really easy. It's just, so this is 25 grams of olive oil, 250 grams of water, and 150 grams of starter. And then what she does that's different from a lot of people is she puts the dough in with the flour, which some people say affects gluten development. So she says she prefers to do it that way because she doesn't notice any difference, and then you won't forget the salt. But other people say you're supposed to add the salt after, maybe during stretch and fold. I'm just going to follow her recipe one more time and see what kind of luck I have with it. The cool thing about sourdough and experimenting and learning is it's so cheap because, you know, if you mess it up, you're only out the flour. So that's my sourdough starter. It's my sourdough starter, olive oil, and water. Okay? Now we're going to put 500 grams of bread flour. I guess bread flour, I don't guess. Bread flour has a higher gluten content. That's why you use bread flour. I want some of my tea. That's why you use bread flour, but you can mix it with whole grain flour. So today I'm going to do a mix. I'm going to do maybe two, I don't know if half and half's too much. Maybe I'll do like 350 to 150 whole wheat to bread flour. If you guys are in a live stream, please drop a heart or say hi or drop a bread emoji. I like to see who's actually here and see what the story is. But if not, that's fine too. I'm about to be able to run like memberships and super chats and all that good stuff. So what did we say we were going to do? 150 and 350. So she mixes it with a fork. See, yesterday I also didn't mix my starter with the olive oil well enough. Oh. So I need to go up to 142. I accidentally weighed it with the whisk in. So we're doing, sorry guys, let me show you. We're going to put 142 grams of the whole wheat flour. I put 165. 142 we need. Cooking with a scale is so awesome. Everything. Whatever you bake it with a scale. You save yourself so many dishes of like measuring cups and measuring spoons and all that. 25 grams of olive oil? No problem. I did want to have my tea. Ooh, it's strong and it's cold. I'm on a full life self-improvement journey by the time I turn 40. I'm 30, I'm about to turn 39. And I stopped drinking coffee because I started taking ADHD medicine, but then I stopped taking ADHD medicine and I quit coffee. So I just stayed that way. 350 of bread flour. We're doing a 350 bread flour, 150 whole wheat flour mix. Okay. I really love baking with a scale. This is how they do it in Europe. Two more grams. 350. I used to be a full-time live streamer. I actually love live streaming. And I think I'm going to live stream every day on YouTube. Why not? This is what we got going on here. So this is just to, in case you're just coming in, it's 150 grams of whole wheat to 350 grams of bread flour and 25 grams of olive oil, 150 grams of starter, and 250 grams of water. So now, Clever Carrot's recipe says to mix it with a fork. And this is where you're going to let it autolyze. Autolyzing is where the dough, the starter ferments through the dough, I believe. So sourdough can be really confusing, but if you learn more about the science of what all is actually going on, it starts to make sense. This is a bit drier than my last one. And then there's like a whole thing in the sourdough when I read about it, community, about hydration levels. So we'll get there. We're just baby sourdough beginner bakers. And I think it's best to keep it simple. And okay, so this is the thing they say. Baking bread is easy. Baking perfect bread is very difficult, but baking bread is easy. So baking bread is easy. I see a lot of these loaves on the sourdough page where people are like, oh, I messed up. What do I do? And I'm like, I would eat that all day. Like, it looks fine to me. But then when you start baking it, it comes out like just a little bit slightly off and you're like, what did I do? What's wrong? So, but yeah, guys, it's easy to make bread, so don't overthink it. And this is it says it should be like shaggy and raggedy, and I don't really think the dough can pick up any more of these flour pieces. It feels like a lot of flour pieces left, but I'm just gonna go with the recipe. So this is gonna sit in the not oven. It says you can autolyze it for. Okay, so that's definitely mixed. They say you can autolyze it for a half hour, but an hour is better. So unless I'm in a big rush, I'll do it for an hour. Also, never put sourdough starter down your sink. It'll clog up your drain. Always put it in the garbage. And sourdough makes a big mess. Like when you're feeding your starter and stuff, I should start doing this. I'm about to give you advice I don't even do. I'm going to start putting down a dish towel. As soon as I do my laundry, it's over for you. I'm going to start putting and doing everything over a dish towel. Because once that stuff hardens on the counter, forget it. You're done. You'll never get it off. You have to like soak it with water and this and that. This is a loaf I made yesterday, and I'm pretty sure I know what I did wrong with it. I think I bulk fermented it too warm, and yeah. But they all pretty much sound like that, right? I'm going to use it for croutons or crackers or crostini. My mom's having guests tonight, and I was thinking about maybe like cutting up some crostini and using that for her. I'm going to put this in the oven with the light on. I'm going to put it in the oven with the light on. Good morning, guys. Welcome to my live stream. Thanks for coming. Okay. So, sorry, guys. I'm just going to leave it in there for an hour. So, it's 9 o'clock now. So, I guess I'll come. It's 8:45. I guess I'll have my tea and I'll come back live at 9:45. And we'll take this dough out and we'll do a series of stretch and folds. Yeah, Clever Carrot's recipe is like deceptively simple. She's like, and if you want, after a half hour of the bulk rise. So there's an auto rise, which right now is, I believe, the starter populating the dough. Then there's the bulk rise. So after you take this, after you do this in an hour, you make it into a ball. And then she says a half hour into the bulk rise, you can, if you want, perform a series of stretch and folds. But from what I can tell in the sourdough community, like, you're supposed to be stretching and folding this dough like several times in the bulk rise. So maybe I'll do a little bit of research on that while I have my tea, and then I will come back live to set up the bulk rise. And I don't know. I just feel like baking sourdough is really overwhelming for a beginner. When I first started, it's like, these women, you know who you are? Robin. But low-key Robin helped me so much. She was in my comments. She's like, you're doing it wrong, and I'm 62, so I know. She was like, I've been at this a long time, sister. And I was just like, whatever. There's more. I wanted to say, you know what? My way works just fine. But you know what? I took her advice because she was 62 and she has been doing this a lot longer than me. And she was right. Her advice worked to feed my starters. So I stand corrected. But yeah, man, you go into the groups and everything, and these women, like, it's so technical and it's so involved. So like I said, yeah, making perfect bread is difficult, but making good bread, I think, is easy. I mean, I literally made 2 amazing loaves of sourdough on accident. And then I thought, I got a little, I think I got a little cocky. So we'll see how this one goes. I'm really excited. I'm actually, I don't know, I'm live. Should I just, I'm going to make another one anyway. So let's make one more loaf. Okay, I got to wash the bowl first. But if you'll bear with me, we can do it together. And if you're new to the live stream, you can get to see me make another loaf of bread, because that's why you're in here, right? Good morning. Make sure to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more about everything I'm up to. I'm a 38-year-old woman turning 39. I'm a teenage girl in my late 30s, and I am reinventing my entire life up from scratch. I got divorced a bunch of times, and then I got engaged to the worst person in the world. Way worse than the people I had divorced. And I dodged that bullet, and now I'm just rebuilding up my life. Like, I thought I was going to get married, be a stepmom. I'm already a real mom, obviously, but I thought, like, his kids were much younger. So I thought I was going to be like a stepmom to little ones, and I thought I was going to be a wife, and I would have been really selling myself short because all I've ever wanted to do is be a YouTuber. So anyways, that all fell apart, and it was a really hard time in my life, but I pulled myself out, and it wasn't easy. I had to go to all different therapists and all that stuff. But actually, I figured out how to get your life back. So this whole channel is just me getting my life back, and I'm taking this entire year to turn my life into exactly what I want it to be by the time I turn 40. And I think it's going really well so far, and I'm sure it's going to continue to go really well. And I do really enjoy live streaming. I used to do this full time for this weird Chinese app. And actually, some of the people that used to follow me and watch my live streams come on these live streams, and it's so exciting and awesome. And I really appreciate that. So welcome to my live stream. I'm not going anywhere. So yeah, making sourdough is cool. I don't eat carbs. I don't eat bread. I can't eat any of this. So it sucks for me. But I make it for my son. He likes it, and I don't like to really give the kids gluten. So for some reason, I feel like this is like a little better. Sorry about the lighting. I don't know. I'm just learning. I'm just learning YouTube, so bear with me. I like didn't do YouTube for so long because I felt like I had to be perfect, and I had like all these self-esteem issues. But now I'm like, whatever. Sorry about myself. Okay, so again, now I have the clever carrot recipe memorized. It's 150 grams of starter, and I already float tested these 2. So why don't I use both of these and then combine them into another starter? Because actually, when you make a starter, I've been trying to make smaller starters because I have like starter everywhere. 50 grams, 50 grams, 50 grams. That's what this is, right? That's how much space a 50-gram starter is going to take up, I believe. There's no way it's 25, 25, 25. I don't think so. So anyway, this should be about 150 grams of starter. I did float test this one. You guys can watch my short. I showed how to float test. I mean, I could do it live for you right now. If you commented and needed me to do that, I would do that for you. Oh, see, there's only 100 grams of starter. Whoa. So I've never had this problem before. That's what I don't understand about people with really small starters. Like, Like Robin. Robin told me like 50 grams. I think this is what Robin does. Robin, you forsaked me. I like almost don't have any starter left. My light. My light. Okay, so this is a problem I've never had before. I need 30 more grams of starter. And honestly, the other one, oh, it's out of battery. I got it. Okay. Well, that's what I mean. Like, what happens if you have to use all your starter? Like my last one, that's all I had left. And I was going to actually build off this one because that's probably 25 grams in there. Man, I didn't feed this one this morning. Let's float test it. We'll float test it just to see. Now I have to go over here because I don't have any light anymore. I was like, why isn't the light working? Oh, yeah, honey. Okay, so we're just going to take about a teaspoon of this starter and we're going to drop it in the water. It really helps if you wet the spoon or the fork that you have it on first. But let's see, please float so that I can bake. Yes, it floats. That's awesome. It helps that I fed it late last night. So from what I can tell, you can get away with feeding your starter once a day, but really, the real ones are feeding it twice a day. Okay, so I'm taking, what am I taking? 30 grams out of this one? 30 grams out of that one. That's okay, though. I'm going to refeed them all after I'm done with all this. Gets a little complicated. All right, so we're at 142. We're perfectly at 150. Baking with a scale. Learning to bake with a scale is such a lit skill. I remember when I would be like reading recipes and stuff, like European methods, they're like, oh, we bake with scales. And I was like, wow, aren't you special? Good for you. Have fun with that. It seemed like really technical, but I think I was just jealous I couldn't afford a scale at the time. All right. Woo! I've been working hard, guys. I've been working hard. Do you even know that half and half came in this size? I sure didn't. That's insane. That's aggressive. But yeah, guys, I do a keto diet. Forget the sourdough. I don't eat this. I just bake it for fun. I don't know. It's cool to learn something new. I feel like it's a great skill. I really want to actually know if this is really like not bad for you or if that's just like a trendy thing to say. I'm making my tea. I make loose leaf Irish breakfast tea. My friend and hypnotherapist turned me onto it. He got me my first container of it, and I've been on that ever since. I stopped drinking coffee when I started taking ADHD medicine, and then I stopped taking ADHD medicine and never started drinking coffee again. I just drink tea. And I think the heavy cream, I use the heavy cream as a way to make my stomach not empty before I take my vitamins. But then sometimes when I take my vitamins, I still feel sick to my stomach because I think that the 7 grams of fat like isn't enough. 2 tablespoons of that has 7 grams of fat in it. Okay. Whoa. Okay, so if you have a small starter, you need to like feed it up before you bake with it. So if you had a small starter, you could feed it and then bake with it the next day. Anyway, I'll get to the timing of all that another time. So here we go. 25 grams of the oil, and then we're going to do 250 grams of filtered water. So I have to fill up my smaller olive oil container, so it's good I have the big one out. 25. Nice. 25 grams of olive oil. And so we have 25 grams of olive oil, 150 grams of starter, and then the 250 grams of water. Filtered water. Make sure it's filtered. To fill this thing up like 3 times a day with the kids, we go through so much water. 260, because I looked away. You see what happened? See what happened? Caught myself lacking. Take out 10. Perfect. It's amazing how little 10 grams is. Okay. So I did notice that this loaf, this is the first loaf I'm making with whole wheat flour. Did notice it was very dry. So I wonder if that's because I am using whole wheat flour. Oh, now what I should do, I'm making 2 loaves. I should compare. Cool. So 500 grams of flour is going to go in this one. I'm going to use all regular bread flour. I'm not going to use any whole wheat in this one. So we made one. I'll show you a different angle. We made one whole wheat and one plain, and we're going to see the difference in how those work. So yesterday I just mixed the starter and the olive oil. Oh, I forgot the salt. Remember I said I was going to put the salt in? I knew I was forgetting something. Clever Carrot's method has you mix in the salt during the autolyze. But other people say that you have to add your salt in the bulk rise, I think, in the stretch and fold. Oops! Too late now. But I'm going to put the salt in this one. I just have to check the recipe for how much. Okay, so we've mixed the starter, the olive oil, and the filtered water. And now we'll tear this, and we will add the 500 grams of bread flour. Let's see if it's dry like the other one. I should tell my dad to watch my live streams. My dad's my biggest YouTube supporter. Oh, sorry guys. It's a live stream. It's baking. I forgot. I was just chatting. I was just yapping. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, I'm joking. That's what it is. I'm joking. That's from I Think You Should Leave. Do you guys watch I Think You Should Leave? It's the funniest show ever. I think it's 10 grams of salt. I don't want to cut the live stream out, but I gotta check. It's 10 grams of salt. Okay. So, we'll tear the scale again and just make a little, oh, that was dumb of me. 10 grams of salt. Cool. 10 grams of salt, and I'm going to whisk it into the flour so it's a little bit more evenly distributed. And then the Clever Carrot recipe says that you use your fork to mix it up. Oopsies, I took a screenshot of my own live stream. Crazy. Okay, so here we go. I wish I could show you how it comes together more. I want to show you guys so that, because I remember when I was a beginner, I was like, what are they talking about? Am I doing this right? Is that what it's supposed to look like? So let's learn together. This is only the 4th loaf of sourdough I've ever made. So basically, I'm going to need my other hand, but you do that, and then it comes together to form a dough. I will say, I feel like I can already tell that this one's less dry. I think the whole wheat flour might absorb more. Yeah, so I don't know. I see people, women in the subs talking about hydration levels. So that's for another level of our sourdough journey. This is a very beginner sourdough journey. So we're not going to worry too much about it. Yeah, it's supposed to form like a ragged dough. Like that. The other one I kind of had to like blend with my hand, and it still had a lot of, I feel like a lot of flour left at the bottom. So anyways, it says it's supposed to be a shaggy, raggy dough. So we just made dough for 2 loaves of sour bread. One that has some whole wheat, one one that has some whole wheat. It's just for my family, it's fine. One that has some whole wheat and one that has just bread flour, and that's what the one that has just bread flour looks like. So now we're going to let this autolyze, which is the time when the sourdough culture distributes itself through the whole bread dough. So yeah, now we have 2. Whole wheat and regular. So we're going to let those sit until 9:45. Gonna let those sit until 9:45. You're supposed to oh, and then I'll refeed my starters too, just to show you the whole rigmarole of what goes on. All right. So thing is that I used up for the first time in my life a whole starter. I've always had like so much left. Now I only have this little bit. So let's see how much this actually is. I would say this is like a tablespoon of starter. Let's see how much it weighs. 14 grams. It's interesting to see how little you can use to make a starter. Like, people are literally using scraps So I don't know. I have my other starter I'm going to have to borrow from. But yeah, oops, don't use your whole starter on accident. Luckily, I have a bakery that I can buy this from up the road if I mess it up. You can make your own, but it just takes like a week to get it started. And I don't know. I don't really feel the need to do it by myself, even though I'm sure I could. All right, 15 grams is in there now. I gotta put 25 in. Oh my God. It's so messy, guys. Not to mention, every single bowl of my house has been dirty for the past 2 weeks. I got this starter and it was like, damn, now that I have this starter, I actually have to bake with it. It's wild. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool. Okay, so that's 25 grams of starter. And that's another thing I did that was smart that I had to do. I weighed my bowls and cups so that I actually know how much starter is in the bowl, you know, without having to use a new bowl. So my bowls weigh 660 grams. Okay, so now I've got 25 grams of starter, and I'm going to put 15 grams of whole wheat flour in. So we're going to go up to 40. Guys, if the only thing you learn from your sourdough journey is how to bake with a kitchen scale, you will have learned a very good skill. 40, and then another 10 of the whole wheat. Oh, I meant to do more whole wheat than bread, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, and now 25 grams. 25 grams of filtered water. I forgot to weigh it. That's way too much. What was that? That was up to 50, so it's supposed to be 75? Bruh. What, I forget I was making sourdough starter? Yes. I have severe ADHD, I'm sorry. It was supposed to go up to 75? How is that? No way. What is going on right now? Anyway, you can't look away from the water when it's such small amounts like this. Whoa. I should really just be like keeping track of my one fork. Okay, so that's, and then you really want to stir it around to get the air, because the spores and the wild yeast and stuff in the air get in there and ferment. Okay, so to be honest, a starter this small isn't really enough to make a loaf of sourdough. So I don't really understand that. But my other starter, I know this is in a 660 gram bowl, because I wrote that down on a post-it note. I've been keeping track of what I'm doing with each starter so I can learn. Okay, so 891. 891 minus 660 is 230. 230. So that means if we were to feed this whole thing, so I need to take out 130 grams is what I need to do. I need to turn this into a 100 gram starter. So 130 grams, that's almost as much as I need to bake another loaf of bread. I'm not doing it. Two's enough. Okay. So we have the one small starter. This one I'm going to bring down. Oh, I can just make another starter, I guess. So this needs to go down to, so what did I say? I need to take out 130. 890 minus 660 is 230. I need to take out 130. So I need to get this to go down to 760. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I need the scale to say 760. So it's 839. 813. 790. We're getting closer. Need to get down to 730. 756. It'll be a lot easier if I can actually. Whoa. Oh, see, I just got some sourdough on the oh! If you get sourdough on this stuff, you could build a house with this stuff. It's so sticky. Like, I'm not kidding. Oh no, I need it to be 760. Sorry, I did the math wrong. 760. It's like simple, but it's complicated. I don't know how to explain it, but what it really is it's sticky. More than anything, it's sticky. And I think I need to basically, oh, didn't I tell you to do all this on top of a towel? I don't have any dish towels right now. I'm doing my laundry. I'm actually like, I've been focusing so much on my YouTube and I'm renovating my house with my dad. So we've been working hard. We built a gate yesterday and my house has been under renovation. I've been in renovations for like a decade and a half. So I'm working on getting everything. I'm like, oh, I just got sourdough starter all over my face. Ew, it must not have been off my hand all the way. Ew, tangy. So yeah, everything's kind of like crazy because I'm doing a lot. I'm a single mom of 2 teenagers and everything's just very hectic. But it's okay. We're learning, we're growing. This is 100 grams of starter in here. So I guess after you bake, you refeed your starters. So let's do 50 grams and 50 grams. We'll do half whole wheat, half bread flour. And whole grain flours have different bacteria in them and stuff. So you can get, I guess, like a more diverse culture. Man, bet my ex wishes he didn't leave me now. No, just kidding. I mean, he didn't quite leave me. I basically told him he could go. I told him he was dismissed. But anyway, yeah, if my ex could see me now, he'd sure wish he married me. I'm a good wife to myself. 100 grams of water. There's a 1 to 1 to 1. I learned this method from Robin. She was in my comments telling me I was doing it all wrong, and she was actually right. I always look away when I'm doing the water, and then I put too much water in it. She was right. I was doing it wrong. Cool. Do you guys write love notes on your water? You should. You can infuse your water with good vibes. Well, so I guess if it should double within 4 to 6 hours at room temperature if it's healthy enough. You really want to stir it because you want to get all those good cultures that are in the air. I guess there's spores and yeast in the air. But you get them into the bread, and that's what gives you the sourdough. So we got 1 sourdough starter refed, and then we have another sourdough starter we're going to refeed also. Let's just get this over with. Oh, no, I got to actually weigh it. Let's see. Because I know how much the bowl weighs. It should be 760. Oopsies. 755. Okay. I'm happy with that. So we got to go to 855. The water's the heaviest part. 855. Cool. And then I guess I could see what 100% whole wheat flour starter would be like. Because I have enough, right? So maybe I'll just do 100 grams of whole wheat. And we'll find out. We will find... Oh, scale. Wow, the only thing I ever want to do is be a YouTuber, and I'm really being a YouTuber. This is like so cool. I'm just gonna get to do this every day, all day, like just do my thing. I've been doing this stuff anyway for years, and it's interesting stuff I've been up to over here. But I kept getting into all these toxic relationships that were derailing my life and my creative process, and it was a travesty. But we're over that now. We've grown. I learned so much. I'm going to teach you guys everything I learned. I know it seems like I just make bread, but this is just the beginning. I'm just learning how to use my equipment. I'm about to tell you guys how to live your life, how to fix everything, how to feel your best, how to look your best. I'm going to teach you guys so much more than just sourdough. This is just, for some reason, what I'm doing right now. Because I do it every day, and people need the information, and they like the content. So, guys, so we just put 2 loaves of sourdough in for bulk rise, and we just refed both starters. We actually refed 3 starters. I split one of my big starters into 2 and have a baby starter. I want to give one to my sister, Mia. Oh, Mia. Mia could be watching this. Okay. I have a loaf of shame. If you guys are in here, can anybody drop an emoji? There's been like 100 people in here, and no one has typed an emoji or a heart. Anyway, it's my loaf of shame. Still smells good. I'm gonna cut it into a crostini. You guys want to see what happens with this one? Let's do that. I'm gonna cut it to see if I can make a crostini for my mom for her little guest party tonight. Not really a guest party, she's having a guest, and she was like, oh, I gotta get little appetizers. Don't put your sourdough starter. We're gonna cut this one. Don't put your sourdough starter in the sink ever. I guess it can clog up your plumbing. It's messy. Making sourdough is messy. As I'm getting my process down, I'm learning. And once I get it down, I'll be able to like anticipate my needs a little more about what I need. Okay, let's give it a cut. Let's see what happens. I don't know though. Straight up, this looks like it's gonna hurt to even eat it. But we're gonna find out. I guess I should have you over on this side, huh? No, I can just do it right. Okay, here we go. I should have used my Sawzall. Gummy. Looks gummy. But it smells good. So I think what I did here, I think I over fermented this one. Like I said, I don't eat it, but let's just taste it to see. I did think this is over fermented. I think I figured out kind of what I did wrong with this loaf. But I want to see if it can be used for crostini, because if so, I'll bring it to my mom. Well, it's very delicious. I'm saying, like, all these women on the sourdough groups are like, this is wrong, that's wrong. I'm like, looks good to me, girl. It's freaking delicious. This would be good with the bruschetta on top, because if you toasted this, I'm imagining it would get pretty damn crispy, pretty damn crunchy, like too crunchy to eat. Still delicious. This would be perfect for toaster croutons. So, like, I could tell the dough, I could tell it was nice bubbles, though. I could tell it was a lost cause, but I was like, screw it. I'm just bake it and see what happens. Oh, what beautiful. Oh, no, it's not a cardinal. Still beautiful. Not as beautiful as cardinal. All right. Well, I guess that's that. The cat's watching me. Look. Hi. Me. This one's over here. Oh, you too. Hi. Cute, cute, cute cat. Okay. Now I'm gonna go clean this whole house, do a bunch of laundry, and then I think I'm gonna go live again in a half hour for the bulk rise segment of this party. All right. Thanks for watching my live stream, guys. Nice to meet all of you, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.